You have to be comfortable allowing other people to do things, even if it's not quite the way you would do it, so that you can grow and do other things in your life. It's got to be done. Welcome to the Kelly Yadley Show. I'm Kelly. 17 years of building businesses and zero interest in hustling myself into the ground. If you want the business and the life, you're home. Let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back to the Kelly Yadley Show. We have been together now. This is our 18th podcast. It's hard to believe. I put this together and really thought that it would be such a fun journey to really share the teachings that I have and the things that come along and really my experiences in life. So today I want to take you back to the origin story, why all of this came about in my life, and just tell you a little bit more, just so you get to know me a little bit more, and the reason why I do what I do. There are so many things that, kind of come out of all of the things that we do in life, and there's like different paths that we take, and the reasons why we do things is just far and a lot, right? Like it's not just one thing. And so for me, who I have become in, I would say the last 5 years, maybe a little more, is the person that I wish that my biological mother had when she decided to leave our family. And I was 5 years old and my brother was 7. And she just didn't know what to do. She wanted 2 different lives. As far as I know, I don't really know the whole story, but my brain has put together that she probably was an entrepreneur just like me, and she found herself with 2 small children and a husband that worked 2 jobs, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and it just wasn't working. So she decided to leave. And as soon as she left, my dad found another woman, my stepmom, to replace her. Immediately, like within a few months. And so we created a new family, the 4 of us, my stepmom, my brother and I, my dad, and just kind of carried on. And meanwhile, my biological mom, she had her own life and created her own business, and she cleaned houses. And she also was more of a personal assistant to her clients, where she did a lot of their finances sometimes, ironing, laundry, as well as, cleaning. And she had clients for many, many years. And she worked a long time. And it was just her. She was solo. She didn't have, I think she had employees every once in a while, but it didn't work out. And so she just continued on, is the story that I know. But I imagine back in the early 80s, which is when this happened, you didn't really have a lot of women that were forging the path of entrepreneur, business owner, and mom at the same time. And the world made you think that you had to choose. And so that dialogue of what was happening in her life is something that still happens today. It still happens that women are made to feel like you have to choose. Like if you're working, then you're not a good mom. And if you're a great mom, you don't have time for a business. Like there's a lot of confusing dialogue out there that really doesn't help when you're someone like me who wants both. And so I am proof that it's possible. And I wish that I could go back to that younger version of my mom and just tell her, you don't have to walk away from it all. You can be that little girl's mom and that little boy's mom and that man's wife and still do what you want to do. And you have to give up some things. You can't do it all. There's not an answer for everything, right, along the way. But if we focus and you have systems in place, it does happen and you're able to do it. You're able to continue doing what you want and really have a full, happy life. My stepmom filled in, and she is a totally different person than my biological mom, right? So this woman was just a homemaker. So she did work a very, very small job that was full-time, and she was a teacher's assistant, which doesn't pay well, but it's very satisfying helping children. And then she would come home and cook and clean. She had a meal on the table every night, and she took care of my brother and I and my dad, and just she was just a woman that just took care of it all. And she was not a business owner. She didn't have that desire or mentality about life. Yet I did. Like, I was born from this definite entrepreneurial woman and then lineage. Like, my grandmother and my great grandmother from my mom's side were all entrepreneur women. So I had this inside of me. So I got kind of the best of both worlds. I was born as my biological mom's daughter, entrepreneur with, the skills and tasks and traits of that, and then raised by this beautiful, soft woman who had all of these nurturing skills that gave me like the confidence and the ability to really dive into relationships and friendships and nurture those people that are around me and really care in my life. And I'm so, so grateful for both. Looking back, it's kind of the best of both worlds, right? Like, at the time it was so hard, still is kind of hard looking back, but I'm so, so grateful. And it was around like high school that I started learning about Mary Kay and motivational speaking and different speakers that were out there in the world. And my senior year of high school, I got onto the speech team at the high school that I was at and loved it. Loved it. And we had such a great time at competitions. And I took one speech and got to perform it several times and give it to different audiences. And that was really super fun. And it was then that I realized that I loved being out and supporting other women. And so what that looked like to me was standing on a stage and supporting women with their vision and their dreams and their goals. Like, just allowing them the opportunity to know that they could do it. You could do it. Like, that's something that I just absolutely love. So I went to college and I was like, I got to learn how to do this. I got a Bachelor of Science in Communication. I joke that it's a BS in BS. But I went to the University of Texas and I got to be on the speech team and really learn so much about who I am as a person, as a woman in this world. And it was a great opportunity. Going to college for me was something that gave me like just another step of learning about myself in a bigger arena than in the small, neighborhoods and life that I lived as I was growing up. And so it was just really nice to meet other people and really get out there and learn more about my life. And then when I got out of college, I kind of went back into my ways of knowing and got married right away. And that felt comfortable to me. Like, it was something that I was like, okay, this is how we do life. And this is, we, get together and, no sex before marriage, like all those thoughts that I really had a challenge with. But I didn't know it at the time, right? So it's just learning about life and learning about who I am as a woman, and had my daughter right away. And I'm so, so grateful that I did. So grateful. Like that the way that life worked out for me that way, I really feel so, so blessed, because I don't know if I would have had another opportunity. Like, you just don't know in life, right? And so I'm kind of assuming that was the one and only time for me. And so I'm so grateful. And I truly believe that universe or God or whoever your person is, however you see that, puts a mother and a child together, and that those souls are there to kind of support and create a connection for both of the people, for both of the lives. So my daughter, I feel like, was chosen to be my daughter in a funny, I know that's a lot, but in the woo world, I feel like she was chosen to be my daughter to help me with the path that I had. And sure enough, she was like 3 years old when she said she wanted to be on TV, like very tiny. I don't even know if she was 3. Like, I remember her being super little and being very not hardly using words at all and wanting to be on TV and wanting to be an actor and just all of the things and dancing so young. So I helped her create that vision for herself. And like, she did it and I just helped her do it. And I remember just waiting and waiting and waiting to get her headshots because her dad wasn't quite on board with everything. And I didn't want to push him out of his comfort zone. And of course, financially, there's a lot of decisions. And her being a child actor, it's just like you don't want to put her too much into the light. But I wanted to give her the opportunity that I knew that she could handle. And so we did. And now she's in New York City. She's got an agent and she does musical theater and she is pursuing her dreams. So it's so awesome to me to be where I am in my life now, knowing that I can build a company, help another person like my daughter pursue their passion, and still have a beautiful life myself. And so I want to do that with other women. That's my goal and my desire. I want to be out there supporting women and supporting the idea that it is okay to want many, many things in our life. And not all women want children. I know that. That's not the thing. So if you're not a mom and that's not what you want, that doesn't have to be like the choosing of life. But sometimes you want, multiple degrees and you want to have a business, or, you want to travel, and, there's a lot of choices in life. And I really, truly feel like you can have what you want. You just have to be very specific about it. And as you're doing that, your life expands and fills. Like, you buy the tiny purse and you can fill it and be just fine. And then you buy that much bigger purse and you can fill it and you be just fine. Like, life expands to the size that we create the container. So the bigger the bag, the more we have, right? So if you want to create a bigger container for yourself, let's do that. Let's create what you want in this lifetime. And I want that for myself as well. And so the way that I do that with the ladies that I work with is we talk about your vision, and we talk about the tasks that you have in life. And are those things the things that you should be filling your calendar with or not? Are you actually supposed to be, focused on that? Are you taking time to make sure that the things you want done are actually getting done? You've got to hold yourself accountable. And if not, you've got to either have a friend or a coach that's holding you accountable to the things to move you forward. And then the others is finances. Like, if you're a business owner or you want to be a business owner, you've got to look at your finances. And we talked about that last week on the podcast, but it's definitely something we've got to look at. And we've got to be aware of our bills. We've got to be aware of our spending. Like, a lot of times you're focused on your income and your revenue, but you also have to be very, very aware of all of the subscriptions that are available now. Oh my gosh. And for me, that's a lot. And then when all of the things that we spend money on, there's so many opportunities. And I will tell you, the bigger your life gets, the more opportunities you get. Holy cow. Like, just right now, I have so many different events that are possible that I can fly to in September and October and November and January. I'm just like, which one? How do you choose? So I'm very excited about that. And then the last one is delegating. The 4 pillars for me. And so is vision, tasks, money, and delegating. And the delegating piece is important as you grow yourself and your business, because you've got to give away, as uncomfortable and as controlling as we can be at times. You have to be comfortable allowing other people to do things, even if it's not quite the way you would do it, so that you can grow and do other things in your life. It's got to be done. I don't like getting my lawn mowed because they don't always do a good job. And I have to let that go. Like, I'm not going to be the one to mow the yard anymore, Kelly. So, and I have the tiniest of tiny yards. So it's like, it's a $40, $50 job. And I found someone that can do it. Let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. So, but my goal today is just to give you a little bit of a glimpse inside of my life, a little glimpse of my story and what got me here to this place, of why I care so much about sharing with other women because I don't want another woman to have to go through what my biological mom did. Because I don't know at this point in her life if she's happy with that decision. Maybe she is. She very well might be, and that's okay. My guess is that there's probably like looking back and you're like, what happened? So, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? We all make decisions in our life, but the people in our lives that are affected by it, it can hurt for years. Like it will never not be sad to me that my mom is not in my life. Like it will never not be sad. So I just ask you to, follow what is in your heart and follow what your goals are and your dreams are. And if it's still in there, don't give up. Don't give up on it. That's definitely a sign that you should continue going for it and continue asking for what you want in this life. There's no reason not to. There's no reason. So thank you so much for being here today and for listening to us, to listening to my story. And if this hit, please share it with one woman. Go out there and let her know that she too can have choices in her life. If you have a small business and you'd like a sponsor, we've got sponsor spots available on the podcast for you. And please make sure that you like and subscribe because that's the way this community grows. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful week. We'll see you next week. Bye. That's the show. One favor before you go. Send this to one woman who needed to hear it today. Strong doesn't mean solo. I'll see you next week.